Wouldn't it be nice if we had a little cheat code that we can press whenever we hit a little stall or a plateau on our weight loss journey? That way we can just avoid that and just get right over the hump. Well, in today's episode, I want to break down a few different strategies that can definitely help you out. But first, before we get into what you should be doing whenever you hit a stall, whenever you hit a plateau, let's talk about some specifics for today's episode for context. Okay. I want to actually dive into what a plateau is, what a stall is, because if we don't know what a stall is, if we don't know what a plateau truly is, we could actually be making adjustments when it's not even necessary at all. And these adjustments that we could be making might be actually more harmful rather than good for us because it's at risk of either cutting out our calories or doing something that's just not sustainable when it came to training or working out. So I want to dive into that. And then I want to dive into just, three different types of trends for somebody's body type. For example, you might be watching this right now, and if you don't know anything about your weight loss trends, right, and how it works when it comes to you trying to lose body fat, well, once again, if you don't know anything, this episode is really going to help you out because I want to identify what are three different types of trends. That way, specifically for your body type. That way, hey, if you ever hit a little, I like to say, bump in a road, you can identify it's not even a stall. It's not even a plateau, right? Rest assured, as long as you just stay consistent, right, you will eventually still progress and reach your goals. So I want to dive into that first. And then, right, we're going to talk about energy balance. Then we're going to go into different strategies to just give you some value, give you some tips, So before we get started, if you do get any value at all from today's episode, I would appreciate it if you just give this video a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment down below letting me know your biggest takeaway, or if you have any questions at all. Maybe you're on your weight loss journey and you're struggling. It's like you're doing all the right things and you feel like you just hit this roadblock and everything you do just doesn't help you progress at all. Leave a comment down below. I'll be glad to help you out. So let's first and foremost talk about like what a stall is, what a plateau. Okay. I always tell our coaching members at Heartletics, okay, you want to identify three areas, right, of where this stall is coming from. And that's either, hey, if we're not seeing any progression with maybe, I don't know, our body fat percentage. I know a lot of people out there, they only check the number on the scale, right? Which is okay. But just keep in mind, that's just one variable. And in my opinion, that's like the least important variable that you should be even tracking. But regardless, that's just one variable, okay? You also want to make sure you're tracking your body fat percentage as well. Because sometimes if, let's just say, you don't lose any weight, okay, the number on the scale doesn't go down at all, but your body fat percentage does drop. Well, hey, who's to say that maybe you just are putting on some lean muscle tissue and that's helping your body fat percentage drop? But remember, muscle weighs more than fat, so maybe your weight doesn't actually change at all. So once again, you want to make sure that you're taking into account some different variables as well as progress photos. Progress photos, in my opinion, is the best way because I like to just say, putting the number on the scale aside, right, which has nothing to do with progression, in my opinion, at all, or what guys mainly want. Guys mainly want to, feel more confident. Well, hey, you're not going to feel confident by just seeing the number on the scale, right? You're going to feel confident with how you look with your shirt off, right? You're going to feel confident with how you look wearing those clothes where it feels nice and snug and, tight on you. You're not going to get confidence from the number on the scale, right? If guys want to have more energy, once again, you're not going to have more energy just from seeing the number on the scale go down. You're going to have more, energy by doing the things that you want to do, right? Or maybe playing with your kids more. That's how you're going to have more energy at the end of the day, So putting all that aside, okay, you want to make sure that you're taking those different things into consideration, okay? So remember, the weight, the body fat percentage, and your progress photos, okay? And if, let's just say, after 4 to 5 weeks, you're not seeing any progression at all, I would then identify, yes, you are in a stall, you are in a plateau. And then from there, okay, let's talk about energy balance next. What do we do, right? If we're hitting these stalls, if we're hitting these plateaus, okay? We first want to identify what is someone's body type trend, okay? There's three different ones. So the first one is somebody could lose some weights, they hit a little stall, right? But rest assured, you don't make any adjustments at all. You don't make any adjustments with the calories or the macros, any adjustments with the workouts or the training, nothing at all, right? And rest assured, the next week they lose some more weight and then hit a little stall, lose some more weight, hit a little stall. So you can see that their progression, their body type trend is like lose body fat, stall, lose body fat, stall, lose body fat, stall. But remember, All they did was just have peace of mind, stay consistent, and they continued to see the progression that they wanted. They didn't make any adjustments with the nutrition, any adjustments at all with the training, okay? That happens, okay? That's why patience is a virtue on this, right? Consistency is the main factor in all of this, okay? Now, the second body type trend, this is where somebody actually, gains a little bit of weight. So this is where somebody could lose some weight, gain some weight, lose some weight, gain some weight, lose some weight, gain some weight. But once again, just like body type trend 1, okay, this individual, even though they don't hit these little stalls or these plateaus, they actually, gain some weight during that process. Since they didn't give up, and they didn't make any changes to the training, they didn't make any changes to the nutrition side, they still eventually reach their goals. Consistency is key. Now, the third body type trend, this is somebody like myself, and it's very frustrating, and this is why you should definitely not be too worried or concerned with the number on the scale. This is where somebody could, lose some weight, hit a stall, right, or hit a plateau, or they might actually gain some weight. And it's like week after week, you don't know what's going on. Because it could eventually go to you losing a whole bunch of weight, to you gaining some weight, to you hitting a stall, to you doing this backward spin cycle. Wild, right? Wild. You don't know what's going on. So at the end of the day, it's just like you don't even pay attention to the number on the scale. All you go after is just, hey, how do you look? How do you feel? Right? Take your shirt off. Look at yourself in the mirror. Am I progressing? Do I feel good? Do I look good? Awesome. Continue on. Let's progress. Okay. That's the mindset that you want to have. That's a winner's mindset. Okay. So now that we understand that, okay, now that we understand what a stall is, what a plateau truly is, now that we understand some body type trends, let's first talk about energy balance. And this is where you have to just have a clear understanding about what I'm about to tell you next, because if you can simplify this, I promise you it's going to make your life so much easier when it comes to progressing on your health and fitness journey, okay? So calories coming in, let's just say that's energy coming in, okay? And let's just say when we're moving our body, right, when we're working out, when we're exercising, that's energy that is leaving, right? So all this is just an energy balance game, okay? Now, when it comes to strategies, that is typically strategies to change up the energy that's coming in, okay? I'm not a fan of strategies. And the reason being is because sometimes strategies also, they don't work long term. They're not successful long term. So, for example, somebody could be a very aggressive strategy, and let's just say take away 1,000 calories and they're eating 500 calories. Well, at the end of the day, sure, they're going to see that number on the scale go down. But guess what? They're also going to see, their body fat percentage probably increase because their lean muscle tissue is decreasing, because 500 calories, you're not getting in enough protein and carbohydrates to maintain and sustain that muscle. So that weight loss is actually loss of muscle. That ain't good, because now we're slowing down our metabolic rate. And that's what a lot of guys do, unfortunately. So once again, strategies could be harmful. Okay. And I'll go over some specifics of strategies that I like to use, right, for our coaching members. But before we get to that, let's first talk about the energy that's going out. Because if we can cause more of a just energy that's, leaving our body to happen, guess what? Now we're in the best of both worlds, because we don't need to make any changes at all to the nutrition, right? And take away any kind of food, right? Calories, we don't want that. We can just make changes over here with the exercise, with the activity. And this is where accountability is key. This is where, integrity is important. This is where discipline, consistency, everything, right, that you hear about is so important, because you got to make sure that you're doing the stuff over here. If it's an importance to you, right, that, hey, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to reach my goals. If it was very important to you, you will find a way to make it happen. So you need to ask yourself, right, could you be doing more? And so what does that mean? Well, first off, identify where are you at right now with your current season of life. Sometimes, right, life's going to throw you curveballs. That's the inevitable. Life's going to throw you some adversity. Life's going to throw you stress, challenges, right? It's going to happen. So one time, right, or certain times of our life, we're going to be able to invest more into our health and fitness goals. And other times in our life, we need to make a small little pivot. We need to adapt and make a small little shift and not invest so much time, because once again, it's just a season of life. So you need to identify what season of life are you in currently right now. And then from there, it's like, okay, what is your weekly schedule look like? It's like, do you actually have some free time on your hand? Can you actually, maybe wake up a little bit earlier and focus on, maybe going for a walk or maybe doing more push-ups or something over here that is, once again, just going to be more beneficial with helping you just progress more, right? You're doing more to break out of this essentially plateau that you're in. Because the reality is most people aren't in a plateau. They're just not being consistent with doing the things that's necessary for them to actually achieve their goals. Let me say that one more time. Most people are never in a plateau. They just lack being consistent with doing the things that they need to do that's in alignment with their goals. Meaning, if somebody wants to lose weight and they know, okay, hey, I should probably be tracking my macros, so I should be eating X amount of grams of protein. I should be tracking my workouts and make sure I'm, getting in at least X amount of steps per day, or I should be, making sure I'm getting plenty of sleep and drinking plenty of water. Simple things that we should all be probably doing, right? Hey, if I'm doing this, I'm going to be doing this, right? Progressing, which is getting to my goals. But if I'm not doing this, we cannot just say, hey, I'm in a plateau because I'm not reaching this goal. I'm not seeing the progression that I want because the expectations that I have for myself, I'm not meeting. Well, you're not meeting them because, once again, we're not doing the right things. We're not doing the right action, right? We're not having the right habits. We're not having the right, steps that we should be following. We're not doing those. So once again, it's kind of like you're pointing the finger at somebody or somebody else, right? As to what's making the issue, right? When there's no issue, there's no plateau, there's no stall. We just need to, once again, probably be more consistent. We probably just need to be more disciplined. We probably just need to practice more integrity, And this is why, bottom line, what matters the most and how to truly break out of a plateau. Okay. And I'm going to go over, once again, some strategies right here in a second. But like how to truly break out of a plateau is accountability. As cliche as that sounds, right? A coach telling you about accountability, right? Guess what? It holds truth to that. Because having the right people in your corner can help you stay on track with your goals. Can we agree on that? Yes, obviously we can. Having the right people in your corner can also challenge you to push harder, right? So you have more of that energy output, right? You're pushing harder for your workouts. You're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals that's also challenging themselves. Like attracts like. So at the end of the day, like, you will progress just by surrounding yourself with the right people in your corner that's holding you accountable. Okay? Now, let's go into strategies. Okay? Strategies is, once again, if you can't make any changes over here with the energy output. This is the energy input, aka calories. Okay? There's several different strategies. I'll just give you a few that works for our members. One is sometimes changing around the macronutrient profiles, right? So like the ratios that we give the macros, the proteins, the carbs, the fats, we'll make some smaller adjustments. And it's typically just either increasing the protein and maybe increasing the carbohydrates and lowering the fats, or just depending on that person's body type, we might lower the carbohydrates and lower the fats and just increase the protein. It all depends on their body type, right? And their trends. But that's one adjustment that we would make. Another adjustment would be making a small little change, small meaning like shaving off maybe 100 to 200 calories. That's it, right? Like, you don't need to take away 500 calories or anything drastic, once again, right? Like, food equals fuel. So if you start cutting away all these calories, somebody might be not getting in enough food to actually maintain their muscle. And then they start losing it, slowing down their metabolism. That's a no-no, right? So we might just shave off just a few hundred calories, see how it works for them. For other people, we have things like water cuts that we'll do. We'll do reverse diets. We'll do a matador diet. We'll do carb load days. We'll do refeed days, right? Which is pretty much kind of similar to a carb load day. And then on those carb days, sometimes people do a lot better where, they're carb loading in the beginning portion of the day where they're eating the big bulk of their carbs early on the day and then kind of just, walking or, getting their workout in the evening time to kind of like burn it all off. And then other people, hey, they're carb loading before they go to sleep. And that typically works best for them. Somebody like me, right, my body type, that works good for me because the carbs in the evening time help me sleep better at night, and obviously recovery is a big, theme when it comes to seeing better progression on someone's fat loss journey. So to summarize, right, I think we just need to identify, are we actually in a plateau, or can we actually be a little bit more consistent with our goals? That's it. That's the reality, because we have to make sure that we're doing the right things. We can't just talk the talk. We essentially need to walk the walk. And there's plenty of times where, once again, life's going to throw you curveballs where you just need to make sure to say and be honest with yourself, hey, for this season of life, I'm dealing with some stress, or I'm dealing with some curveballs here, or this sickness, or this injury, or whatever the case may be. I can't be as devoted to my health and fitness goals. And that's okay. That's okay. But at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen, okay? You have a choice to make. You can either decide to roll the punches, and maybe you can't show up, during that season of life and pour 100% into that. Maybe it's only 20%, okay? But guess what? Maybe that season of life is 3 months of you just only devoting 20% into your health and fitness goals each and every day for those 3 months. Well, guess what? That's sure is a lot better than if, let's just say, you threw in the towel, you quit, or worse, instead of you, not progressing at all and just staying zero, maybe you're actually going backwards. Maybe you're actually, reversing and putting on weight and gaining all the weight because you completely sabotaged and completely threw in the towel and you quit. So now it's like, oh man, we're at negative 30. Now we're at negative 50. So it's like, at the end of the day, you got to pick and choose your poison here. It's hard, right? Rolling with the punches, but it's also hard knowing that we just gave up, right? We threw in the towel. And, now our life is going to be more suffering, more painful because we just outdid everything and more and regained all this weight right back. So once again, pick and choose your poison. I think this is where, once again, having the right people in your corner to hold you accountable, to just help you, right, when life is throwing you curveballs, help you stay on track, help you stay consistent, but also be there to challenge you and be there to push you. That way you don't ever hit that stall. You can constantly grow. You can constantly, outdo yourself and perform. That's why accountability matters the most. And having the right people in your corner is super beneficial. And if you guys want more details about, a little bit more about how our coaching program works at Heartletics, especially with the community that we have, you can obviously click on the link down below. We have some more information that you can check out, in terms of, the workouts, the nutrition, the 100%, personalized coaching for your body type, for your lifestyle, for your mindset, the whole 9 yards. You mix that up with a group of like-minded individuals. Guess what? That's a recipe for success right there. So if you want any more information, you can click on the link down below. And as always, guys, if you got any value from today's episode, please do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know your biggest takeaway. This has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.